COVID-19 situation continues to evolve, Tribunals Ontario is taking action to safeguard the health and well-being of frontline workers and Ontarians while continuing to ensure access to justice. Effective March 13th, Tribunals Ontario is implementing a new policy to postpone in-person hearings and reschedule to a later date. Where feasible, alternative hearing options such as written and telephone hearings will be considered to minimize disruption to hearings across the organization. In addition, all frontline counter services will be closed as of Monday, March 16th, until further notice.
En réponse à l'évolution constante de la COVID-19, Tribunal décisionnel Ontario prend des mesures afin de protéger la santé et le bien-être des travailleurs de première ligne et de la population ontarienne, tout en maintenant l'accès à la justice. À partir du 13 mars, les tribunaux décisionnels Ontario ont mis en œuvre une nouvelle politique afin de reporter toutes les audiences en personne à une date ultérieure. Dans la mesure du possible, d'autres méthodes de tenue des audiences seront envisagées, comme des audiences par écrit et par téléphone, afin de minimiser les interruptions des services. Par ailleurs, tous les services au comptoir seront fermés à compter de lundi 16 mars jusqu'à nouvel avis.
For service in English, press 1. To skip this message, press 1 at any time. The human rights system is made up of... You have reached the main menu. For hours of operation, location, and contact information for the tribunal, press 1. For information about your rights under the Human Rights Code, press 2. For information about filing an application, press 3. For the status of an application, press 4. If you know your call is now being transferred to a staff member. Your call is being transferred to a staff member.
Look how tired I look. I look so fucking tired. Oh, God. Exhausted. Really tired.
Good morning, I'm Tribunal. How can I help you?
Good morning. I have a lot of applications with you guys. My name is Aaron O'Neill. Do you know who I am?
No, unfortunately.
Okay. I've got an application that was submitted for Jan Sadi that was submitted almost 2 years ago. I have another one submitted for Stantec that was submitted at the same time. And I've recently, submitted one regarding various members of justice, the judge in Ottawa who discriminated against me in a case. Who can I talk to about all of these issues? I have sent the registrar emails going on 2 years. I have a copy of all the emails I've sent you, and I just want to understand what exactly is going on with all of my lawsuits. I have been denied representation. I have contacted over 250 lawyers across Ontario. They all tell me they don't have time, and I'm going to tell you what that feels like. Especially since I've gone to the Law Society Referral Program and I look for lawyers who have time, and then when I drive up to their little hotel and they turn off the vacancy sign as soon as I show up, it's like driving down a road of motels and they all have vacancy signs open, and then as soon as I drive up to them, they turn on their no vacancy sign. Oh, I'm sorry, now that you're here, we don't actually have any time for you or room. And when that happens at every single motel in the province, it's not me, right? And we have a very big discrimination issue of lawyers cherry picking their cases. Now, I am Métis, I am autistic, I am extremely vulnerable, and I'm underrepresented. I am being exploited by my employer, who, and my landlord has been very abusive towards me. Even after filing a claim at the Ontario Landlord and Tenant Board, and they don't handle human rights issues. That's you guys. So all of the issues that she has violated my human rights for, I'm supposed to go to the Human Rights Tribunal for that. I have filed 3 applications in the court against my landlord because that's what I'm told to do. So one at the Ontario Tribunal for my rent issues, one at the Human Rights Tribunal for my human rights issues, and then one at the Superior Court of Justice for all of my civil claims, like her running me down with her car, or killing my dog, and all these other things that have gone on since I've moved in here. I'm still not protected. It's been going on 2 years. I have multiple cases that I've looked at in BC with similar cases, and the issues are heard within months in BC. And I've been calling you guys, emailing you guys, asking for information back, and you guys don't respond. And I just now involved all of the human rights courts across Canada, and look at Alberta called me back real quick to let me know that Ontario should be doing their job, and they're not. So what am I supposed to do here?
I'm really sorry you're going through that, sir. I checked here with your first and last name, and nothing is populating other that.
Excuse me?
I looked here in our database with your first and last name, but I'm not seeing anything. So I don't know if you have file number with you.
Yeah. Oh my god. That would be hilarious. If so I have a case number here if you want that was submitted in 2021. And so A2021 003895.
This is the Human Rights Tribunal case number? Or is that the landlord?
That's you guys. This is the Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the number you gave me was that Human Rights Tribunal, because ours is usually the year, dash, and then a 5-digit number after.
Yeah, that's what I've got. 2021 dash 03895. I have all the emails of you guys giving me file numbers. Nobody's called me. Nobody's talked to me.
So,
You just ignore me. As I'm being...
I have this one here.
Pardon?
I just opened the one that you gave me, and this one is closed.
Who closed it? Nobody told me they closed it. When was it closed?
I'm just gonna check the last correspondence they sent you.
When was it closed?
That's what I'm trying to see here. Okay, so.
And I'm recording this call, by the way. Nobody contacted me to tell me it was closed. Nobody even... What the hell are you guys doing?
Actually, my apologies, sir. That's not your file. Okay. This is someone else's file. I'm going to repeat the number. So 03895.
Wow. I am looking at my email here. Okay, I have sent you guys 60 emails. 60 emails. You're telling me you don't have anything under my name? I have HRTO registrar.
By your last name and nothing was your first and last name and nothing populated on my end. And the file number that you just gave me, the 03895, belongs to someone else.
How did you spell my name?
So is it all as orange? And then there's there's comma, and then there's
I need to speak to someone higher up. Can I speak to a second or third level manager, please, or a court operations manager?
Okay, so we are the contact center. We are not the tribunal directly.
Okay.
So if you want to get in touch with someone from the tribunal, unfortunately, only emails will work because I don't even know the staff that is working at the tribunal. But
Inaccessible.
If you want to speak to someone higher here at the contact center, I mean, I can try and see if my supervisor is available, but they don't work at the court either.
No, I need to speak to a court operations manager.
For that, you will have to send an email. So unfortunately, we don't have the contact information, and we're not even allowed.
And you can't find anything on me when I have sent you guys 60 emails. I have 3 applications in my name sent to you guys, and you can't find anything on my file?
Okay. Do you mind confirming some of the opposite party that you have? Well, I have one here.
Jan Saddy, Saddy.
Yes, and then?
Stantec, Stantec. And there should be a most recent one that was just submitted recently for a justice of the peace, a judge in Ottawa, and I don't have her name in front of me right now, but I get it. But I don't even need issues with that one. The most important thing for me is to resolve the issues with Stantec and Jan Saddy, my employer and my landlord, who have extremely violated me over these last 4 years. And I have been reporting this woman to you. You guys have been made aware, and you have allowed this woman to continue harming me under the awareness of the situation, and you've allowed her to harm me even though I've asked you to stop, and therefore you guys are accomplices, and under the criminal code, that is criminal negligence. To be aware of a vicious dog and to not get them under control. I've experienced hate crimes. I've been run down by a vehicle. Very serious crimes. The police, I reported it to the police. The police did nothing. I reported it to the Ontario Police Review Board. They told me to go to court. I filed it in court. The court dismissed it. Didn't even talk to me, refused to talk to me.
Please, do you mind confirming your home address?
Yeah.
Still trying to find your now and here. Yes, please.
250 Hyman Street, London, Ontario.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I did find your file here. And the file number that I have here is 2022 48225.
Can you say that again?
2022 48225.
So what are the other ones that I filed in 2021?
No, this file here, every additional respondent that you were giving, they all added here. I'm seeing all of them here.
Since 2020?
So that one file has all the respondents that you have filed against.
Since 2020?
All of them, sir. all of them are here.
All of the names and all of the violations, and it's since 2020.
All of them. I have the liberals, I have the NDP, I have the CPC, I have the CPSO, I have the OLB, I have the Superior Court of Ontario, Superior Court of Canada, I have the CCHO, Law Society, CHRT, OHRT, Transport GC, NSL. So I have all of them here. All of them on that one file. So when you give that one file, when you call us and you give us that one file, we're able to see all of them at once.
And you have Jan Sadi and Stantec there as well.
Everything is here, sir.
And what does it say about Jan Sadi? Why has that continued to go on for endless time? Why am I still not compensated for all of her abuse? Why are you still letting her damage me? Why did you let Stantec... No, I'm not done talking, please.
I know absolutely nothing about your case. I can only tell you what I'm seeing. But if you need answers, the tribunal can give you answers, unfortunately.
But I can't call the tribunal. Okay, well, I need a phone number for the tribunal because this has been going on for multiple years, and I have emailed the tribunal. Did you get all my emails this morning applying to be euthanized because of your neglect?
Usually when you send the email to the tribunal, you give them...
Answer the question. Did you see my application? Because I want to be euthanized now because of your neglect at this court system. Can you please tell your supervisor that I would like to be euthanized because of your neglect and allowing criminals to continue harming me? You are an incurable system. You are my disease. I want to die because I can't seek justice. Because for the last 4 years, you have been letting criminals hurt me. So I have applied to be euthanized under special circumstances. And those special circumstances are your neglect. And I've sent it to the Human Rights Tribunal. I've sent it to the Supreme Court of the UK as well as the Supreme Court of Canada. And I'm sorry for my tone, but this is extremely traumatizing. And it triggers me. Everything. All of it at once. All the pain that I've suffered, I have not been able to heal at all. And it breaks my heart. It's long gone. Long broken. Shut.
Apologies, I'm really trying to find out if my supervisor is available.
Thank you. Is everything okay?
I'm trying to find if somebody is available to speak with you, sir.
Is it that hard at 9 a.m. on a Friday? Is everybody off work? Is everybody off work or something? Is it that hard on 9 a.m.?
Well, I don't know about the tribunal, but I'm trying to see if any of my supervisors are available at the contact center, but it seems that they have a really busy morning with meetings, so...
They have a meeting?
They do have meetings.
Okay, that's okay. Can I can leave a message. Like, you have my contact information. You can have someone call me back. You can leave a message with the court operations manager, too, and you can tell them to call me.
Your phone number again?
647
647
767
767
7779. I would like to speak to someone at the court, though. So you tell your supervisor to contact the court tribunal and get someone at the operations level to contact me back, because this is now escalated to a point where they have become an incurable disease on my life. Do you understand?
Yes.
And they know. I have already sent them the application to be euthanized. So they already know. I want a phone call back now. And I'm recording this, and I'm putting it on YouTube, and if you say that there's access to justice, somebody should be contacting me back within 24 hours. Like, I should hear back from Monday. I should hear before the end of the day if they had a soul.
The supervisor, they usually get back to, they will get back to the person within 24 hours.
No. This is an emergency. And I need to hear back from the court operations manager.
I will let them know that you want to call back today.
Yeah, like, you guys have been neglecting me for 2 years. I have files, I have 60 emails going back to 2020 emailing you about these issues. That's 2 years, people. You guys, all the other courts across Canada are dumbfounded by your incompetency. I've contacted courts around the world, and they're like, Ontario should be fixing this. Why aren't they? And it should not take this long. I've already sent evidence. There's no he said, she said. I've literally sent evidence. I need to know what we need to get this moving. I need to know what I need, because I have applied to be euthanized. So this is the reality, and I'm putting the courts down as the reason why. It says very clearly.
Okay, I will have them give you a call back. I will let them know that you said it's an emergency and you want to call back today.
Thank you. I'm going to be calling the Supreme Court now. Have a good day. Okay, I just have to finish up the notes on the other file here. So, my entire experience with the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal has been very, very uncomfortable. I've been sending applications and emails to the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal since 2020, so it's been going on for 2 years now. The courts have been notified of criminal activity in which I have filed complete police incidents with, and then I have filed civil claims with. The police don't want anything to do with it because it's a landlord issue. And so, you know, I've even had the Ontario Landlord Tenant Board have a conference call with them and be like, you know, we don't do criminal at the Landlord Tenant Board, so this is indeed your issue. She's run me down with her vehicle. She has committed severe hate crimes, like in public. I've had strangers protect me from her, like cross the street and tell them to get off of me.
Who is this?
Jan Sadie.
Who is she in relation to you?
She's my landlord.
Okay.
So the police have, like, basically this entire time, they're like, oh, well, it's the landlord-tenant board, so we don't have jurisdiction over that. So they've completely been letting her get away with this criminal activity this entire time. They don't want anything to do with that. I filed a report against the Ontario Police Review Board. They told me that it has to go to court. I sued the police at the court system for what they've done, and they dismiss that as well. Like, I've been completely treated like a joke. I've tried to get a lawyer since 2019, basically. Oh no, I've been trying to get a lawyer since 2018 because of my Stantec file, which I filed around the same time as Jan Sadie with you guys, which was in 2020. I filed 2 complaints right away at the HRTO, and I got file numbers for them. One was for Jan Sadie, and the other one was for Stantec. Those were really the emergency ones. One was for my employer. Since filing those Human Rights Tribunal applications, I have lost my job. My employer has retaliated. So since filing my human rights application with you guys, they have committed more harm. She's run me over again. She has committed more hate crimes, my landlord, and I have been violated by my employer further. I was fired while on a disability during an active meltdown with no access to a doctor. And all of this happened under your watch at the Ontario Tribunal. So you guys have now actually contributed to a lot of the pain that I've been suffering. And I now want to be euthanized because of your neglect. Because you guys are the incurable disease that I have.
Okay, I'm extremely sorry to hear you're going through all that, sir.
Thank you.
When was the last time you contacted the Human Rights Tribunal? Was it by email?
Yeah, I've sent them about 60 emails from one inbox alone since 2020. The last one was yesterday, in which I carbon copied all of the Human Rights Tribunal courts across the world and Canada. So I included ones in the UK, ones in Canada, including the Supreme Court of Canada, and I emailed all of you guys my application to be euthanized with a clear description of neglect from the courts and explaining, looking at all the applications I've sent you guys, all of it, since 2020, all being ignored while I face further criminal activity.
So I'm looking at your file here, and your file was received January 6th. And have you received any notice or emails or correspondence from the Human Rights Tribunal?
Never. They ignore me. No one picks up the phone. No one calls me. No one emails me. The only things that I've ever gotten from you guys is with respect to my file number. So I got a 2020 file number back in 2020 for Stantec and Jan Sadie. They then told me an email a couple months later to stop sending emails without putting the little reference numbers in. And I retaliated. I was like, oh my God, like, I'm already traumatized enough and I don't have a lawyer, so just please take the evidence and put it under my name. You know, here's my email address, here's my full name, I put all the information that you need, just put it on the files. It's all related. It all has to go together because it's all happening at the same time, and so each case has to understand what the other person is doing this to me. So the entire climate of my life needs to be understood. So it all should be on one file. So don't tell me, you know, to start doing this and doing that, because it all has to go into the same category of what the fuck is happening to Aaron and why are the courts doing nothing about it?
Right. I just want to let you know I'm taking this call very seriously, and I'm going to send an email to the Human Rights Tribunal. Here at the call center,
I know.
I'm a supervisor here, but we are...
I know. I would like to hear back from the operations manager at the courthouse. Right. Because I need to know what's going on. This is very, very bad. And everything is recorded. Like, you guys may not have everything that I've sent you guys, but I have everything that I have sent you. I have I have stamps of every single thing that I've sent you. So you guys are like, the court operations here are showing a direct level, like a very serious high level of incompetency here. Mm-hmm. And I've had calls back from other, like, when I reached out to all these other courthouses, oh my God, they respond. Like, I had, like, it wasn't very nice from the Alberta court, but Alberta court called me back within 24 hours of emailing them. Mm-hmm. Like, nobody calls me back. Nobody talks to me. They all treat me like I don't exist. This has been going on. More things have happened to me. That's criminal negligence. Okay, when you guys regulate my human rights and you know that my rights are being violated and you've been made aware and you continue allowing my rights to be violated, that is criminal negligence on your part. It's like letting a vicious dog continue attacking me. You guys should have put these people on a fucking leash a long time ago.
Right, I hear you. So I'm going to send an email to the Human Rights Tribunal and just let them know your concerns.
And I need to hear back from someone today, if that's possible. Is that even possible?
Is what possible?
Can I hear back from somebody at the tribunal today?
I'm going to see if they can get back to you. So I'm going to talk to them now, and I'm going to let them know what's going on with your file and what's going on with you and your concerns. Is there anything I can do for you right now?
No, I just need solutions to all of this, or I need to be euthanized. One or the other, whatever happens. I need this done now. I have no more time left. This has been going on for 4 years with Stantec alone. Mm-hmm. And I have recorded all of my evidence. There's no reason why they should continue harming me. There's no reason why I should have been fired with a human rights application at your doorstep.
Right. Have you spoken to legal aid?
It doesn't... No, I have... Okay, listen to me. I have sent you guys a 12 hours ago, I sent a 350-page document, okay? And in that document, there are several applications being denied by the Law Society of complaints made to lawyers who tell me they don't want to represent me because they don't have time. Meanwhile, they're listed as having time on the Law Society referral program. I have then cold called at least 250 lawyers across this province. I have contacted the Ontario Ombudsman about how there's no representation. She found me a lawyer only to tell me she has no time. You know what it feels like? This is what it feels like. It's like driving down a road full of motels that have vacancy signs on them, and as soon as I show up at the door, oh, no vacancy, but yeah, okay, sure, one time is, yeah, okay, maybe. Every single hotel in the fucking province wants to tell me they don't have rooms as soon as I show up.
Right.
I had lawyers literally foaming at the mouth in the middle of the pandemic, excited for a case, and as soon as they saw who I was suing, they're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. They ghost me. I started recording consultations. No, I'm representing myself. I'm extremely vulnerable. I sued the Law Society. Their lawyer blocked me. They blocked me. I've had legislators call the police on me as I'm begging for help on my fucking knees.
So I'm going to send this email. I'm going to let them know your concerns and what's going on.
And I've recorded this whole thing, sir. You've been really great, and I'm putting this on YouTube, okay? Because this is it. This is my last breath.
Sir, some of the stuff you've been saying to me has been a little concerning. Is there anyone I can call for you?
No, I'm going through all the proper channels. There's nothing suicidal about me at all. I don't want to fucking die. I'm applying to be euthanized. I've already applied.
Okay.
I've already applied. And after I spend all morning with the court system, I'm going to be contacting more doctors. I've already contacted a whole shitload. But you know what they're going to tell me? You're being coerced. What do you mean you're being coerced into die? Well, the court systems have allowed criminals to continue hurting me, and there's no justice system, and they're my incurable disease, so what am I supposed to do? Like, read the application. It's really fucking heartbreaking. And it's not me. I'm not the problem. I don't want to fucking die. I love myself.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no fucking solution to the suffering.
Right. I just want to let you know I'm drafting this this email, and I'm just writing notes because I want to take down what you're saying. It's very important.
Yeah, you're like the first person I've talked to that's actually been responsive like this in a long time. So, I mean, you know, I know you're not a representation of the court system, though, but, you know, it's something.
I understand. I totally understand your frustrations. There's a lot going on, and I just want to reiterate, I don't work for the Human Rights Tribunal, but
I know.
Here at the call center, we take calls regarding regarding the Human Rights Tribunal, and then a couple other tribunals that are similar, such as the Social Benefits Tribunal and CFSRB, which is the Child and Family Tribunal.
Okay.
But so right now, I'll draft an email, and I'm going to send it to to the HRTO.
It's good that they have someone sensitive then for, you're a very sensitive person, and you're compassionate and you're responsive to my pain, and that's what is needed in these kinds of calls. I will say, so I hope, if you have had training on it, it does show.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your calling in and voicing your concerns, because, these are, they are legitimate. And
what was your name, and do you have a direct phone number?
My name is Rory.
Okay.
I don't have a direct phone number. But if you needed to reach me, you could call through the phone lines again. But like I said, I am going to send an email to HRTO, and I'll request that...
yeah, I really want to hear from the court.
Yes. And so, sorry, do you have files with other tribunals or other courts?
Yes.
Or is it just the Human Rights Tribunal?
No, I have exhausted my efforts with the London Superior Court, the Toronto Superior Court, and the Ottawa Superior Court. All three court systems have dismissed me. They've treated me like I don't exist. All lawyers that represent my plaintiffs have... one for the lawyer representing the Law Society actually blocked my phone number and wouldn't even let me mediate with him before court, and that was dismissed like really quickly, and I didn't even get a chance to talk to the judge. The one in Ontario, the London one, those are all still just sitting there. Like, they have been doing nothing. The Crown Attorney there has been really rude. I've recorded a few conversations with her, just totally acting like my pain and suffering doesn't matter when there's criminal activity happening. She's just like, well, that's not my problem. And I'm like, oh, but yes, it is. And she's like, well, call the police. And I'm like, the police told me to call you. And she's like, well, the court's closed right now, so there's nothing we can do about it. And I'm just like, oh my God, and then the Ottawa, I filed a class action lawsuit, and the Ottawa judge literally spit in my face, was like, this is rambling, blah, 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 and she was really fucking rude, and I've been sitting on that judgment now for the last week, and I want to be euthanized now because of what she said. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't even called. She literally justified refusing to talk to me when I'm representing 1,300 plaintiffs around the world about pain related to coronavirus, trying to explain my pain and want compensation. And the judgment that she gave me as her solution, well, you should read it. You ask yourself if you want to be treated like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, sir. I'm going to send that email off. Is there anything else I could do for you today?
It's everything. Thank you very much, Rory.
You're welcome, Aaron.
Bye.
All right.
Welcome to the Supreme Court of Canada. Bienvenue à la Cour suprême du Canada. For English instructions, press 1. Pour les instructions. If you are seeking information about applications for leave to appeal, hearings, motions, or the taxation of costs, press 1. For a request to consult a file or to obtain a document, press 2. If you are a journalist, press 3. For the library, press 4. For guided tours, press 5. For the Law Clerks program, press 6. I'm sorry, there is no one available to assist you. If you are seeking information about applications for leave to appeal, hearings, motions, or the taxation of costs, press 1. Please hold. Your call is being transferred. Welcome to the Registry Branch of the Supreme Court of Canada. Bienvenue à la Direction Générale Secrète de la Cour suprême du Canada. For English instructions, press 1. Pour instruction en français. In light of COVID-19, the Supreme Court of Canada building is closed to all visitors out of concern for the health and safety of the public and its employees. Should you have any questions in regard to the impacts of COVID-19 on case-related matters, we strongly encourage you to visit our website. Please note that we anticipate a reduced capacity to respond to telephone inquiries. We appreciate your patience in this regard. If you are a self-represented litigant, press 1. If you are an agent or counsel, press 2. For applications for leave to appeal, press 1. For appeal hearings, press 2. For motions, taxation, or skip. If you would like to receive a guide for self-represented litigants, press 1. If you have received a file number, press 2. If you have not received a file number, press 3. 1 moment, please. Your call is being transferred. This call may be monitored for quality assurance purposes.
Hi. How are you?
Good, you?
I'm gonna try and be calm here, but I start off calm and then I get triggered and I get really upset. So bear with me, okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Aaron O'Neill. I've sent many emails to the Supreme Court, and this is my first time calling to talk about 3 judgments and to talk about my application to be euthanized because of the neglect of the Canadian court system and justice system across the board. So I need to discuss this with somebody pretty high up, I think. Do you think that you're qualified to handle my complaints against the Supreme Court neglecting me?
I wouldn't be able to help you with that. No, I'm sorry. I don't have anyone I would be able to transfer you to, unfortunately. So the best thing I would be able to recommend for you in the case of our courts, if you have a complaint to make, would be to send us an email.
Okay, I did that. And what can I do to talk about my 3 judgments that I'm asking to be appealed at the Supreme Court?
Then if you have judgments that I can help you with regarding your complaint, I would be able to do much.
And then my application to be euthanized because of the courts?
I wouldn't be able to do anything about that, I'm sorry. Unless it was an actual, if there was an appeal from a hearing, maybe, but I don't know what the situation is, and I would rather not get into that from what you're saying.
Why would you not rather get into that?
Because I don't know the situation, I don't want to give you a wrong advice.
So I sent a letter to the Supreme Court. I sent a letter to the Supreme Court, putting the Supreme Court down as a witness to my application to be euthanized because the court systems across this country have allowed for the last 4 years for me to have absolutely no access to lawyers or justice, and I've exhausted every single thing that I possibly can, and my life has only gotten worse, and the people that I've sued have only retaliated and made it harder for me to live, and therefore I'm at that point where it's become an incurable disease, and it's all because of the court and justice system, which I've used for what it's intended to be used for. I just spent about 40 minutes on the phone this morning with the Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario and all of my applications since 2020. There has been a lawsuit against my employer since 2018 that has been sat on an obstruction of justice since 2018, and then they want to just dismiss it without calling me. All the lawyers are ignoring me. The judge is ignoring me. They want to dismiss it overnight for nothing. Meanwhile, there's tons of evidence that I've submitted that they don't want to look at. This is a very serious crime that the courts have committed against me. I filed an application to sue the court, and the courts dismissed that too. They don't even want to talk to me about it. Nobody wants to talk to me about anything. And now you're telling me you don't want to talk about it too?
The words you're using are something I don't have any experience with, and I don't want to give you some wrong answers, or I don't want to give you some wrong information.
Okay,
I can
so
help you as much as I can regarding your appealing at the courts, but anything else I don't have any power with, and I just don't want to get in delicate situations because I know it can be hard, and I just don't want to give you the wrong advice.
good
I'm
answer.
willing to help you as much as I can in the field of work that I can do, and I'll give you all the best answers I can give you. But regarding euthanization, I don't have any knowledge, and I would honestly prefer not to get into it because I don't know the topic, and I don't want to say something.
Isn't it the Supreme Court that pretty much decides over these kinds of policies, though? You guys are responsible for discussions like this because my right to die is something that we would discuss at the Supreme Court. So,
I understand, but I'm just a registry agent, sir. I don't have any knowledge when it comes to that.
Okay. Thank you. And so, how do we get these 3 applications that have judgments appealed at the Supreme Court of Canada?
Okay, so the Supreme Court of Canada, I just want to preface this just ahead. The Supreme Court of Canada is a court of appeal for the other courts of appeal in Canada. So the highest court of appeal of a province or the federal court of appeal. I don't know what legal stage necessarily you've been to so far, but if you wanted to bring in an application, I believe, to appeal at the court, you could find all the documents on our website.
No, I'm calling you to get instructions from you. I don't want to be directed to the website. Thank you very much. And I want to submit my application through you, and I want to get my file number through you, and I'm tired of using the internet. I don't have access.
I understand, but unfortunately I wouldn't be able to help you with that. It's out of what I can do.
You can't even... I'm recording this. Tell me again what you can't do at the Supreme Court of Canada.
I cannot give any legal advice right now.
I want a file number. I've already sent you my file. I already sent you all 3 courts. I already sent you all 3 judgments. You should have them on file.
I understand that.
Now I want my file number. Who could I talk to? I need somebody else, sweetie. I need somebody else, sweetie. Who is above you?
I don't have anybody I can transfer you to. I'm sorry. So if you don't want to talk to me, you can send it to me.
I'm recording this. Can you believe the Supreme Court of Canada? This is how they train them? And this is why I'm planning to be euthanized, because of people like this.
Sir, you're trying to make a fun of me on I don't know what you're doing in recording. It's not nice of you. I'm trying to help you.
You are a public employee who is telling me that this is the end of the line and I'm not happy with your service. You're not trained. You want to refer me to do your job? You want to refer me to your website? That's your job. Okay, I'm asking you to give me instructions on how to get everything appealed. I'm not going to go read your website. I'm calling because I don't want to look at your website.
We have specific documents we need filled out to be able to do an application for police to appeal. If you don't want to go on our website, if you give me your mailing address, I can send them to you for the mail by paper format, but I cannot help you filling out your documents. I'm sorry. The only thing I can do is refer you to speak to a counsel, but you've already mentioned you tried to get counsels and it didn't help, so I'm not going to try to put that on you. So if you want, and you don't want to use our website, I can send you paper formats of our documents, but I don't have any power when it comes to give out file numbers. I don't have any power when it comes to far as the processing documents. That is not my job. We have other people in our court that do that, and like I said, I cannot transfer your calls, so if you don't want to speak to me, you can always send us an email.
Why can't you send an email for me to someone in your office saying that there's an emergency here, this is a very sensitive situation, and we need to go above and beyond what I'm trained here? Why can't you walk over to your manager, put me on hold, and be like, hey, we have a very serious situation here. Our reputation is on the line. What can we do about this?
Unfortunately, I don't have anyone to be able to speak right now. They're all working with a hearing. So if you want, I can pass on the message later.
Please do. Yeah, no, I don't care if they're in a meeting right now. They can call me back.
I'll let you know again to contact to check the documents online, or we send you a kit. Like I said, we cannot help with filling out documents.
I don't need help filling out documents. I need a file number for all the documents I've already sent. And I want accommodations for my disability.
If you've already sent us documents, then in that case, they'll be processed and reviewed by our agent.
Do you have
right now, then I wouldn't be able to help you.
Do you have an accommodation specialist there?
I don't know, unfortunately.
Do you have an accommodations for people with disabilities? Do you have an accommodations specialist at the Supreme Court?
Like I just said, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. I feel so bad for you, sir. You are so ill-trained.
Thank you. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
I mean, just for the whole population, like, for all of the possibilities that could come your way at the Supreme Court of Canada, to not be able to transfer someone, or to not be able to know if there are accessibility offices that I could contact in relationship to my accessibility accommodations. It's very frustrating. And this is indicative of the quality of work.
There's answers I cannot give you. So if I cannot give them to you, you're more than welcome to send us an email, and our agents will answer you as soon as possible.
So my home address for the documents?
Just 1 second. you ready.
250
Yep.
Hyman Hyman Street, London, Ontario. Nancy 6 Apple, 1 Nancy 5. And so there are three court cases that I've received judgment on that need to be submitted to the Supreme Court at the Superior Court of Justice. Is that the highest level of provincial?
Sorry?
The judgments that I have are from the Superior Court of Justice across 3 cities in the province. Is that the highest level of court in Ontario?
Have you been to the Court of Appeal?
No, I have filed all of the judgments with the Human Rights Tribunal for discrimination. I'm not even going there. I'm not even touching these courts again. I've exhausted them. They're discriminatory.
I completely understand. I just do want to let you know, I will send you the documentation since you asked for it. I want to help you, like I said earlier. I cannot guarantee we would be able to help you, but like I said earlier, our jurisdiction is to hear appeals from the Court of Appeal of a province or from the Federal Court of Appeal. And two of the documents we need for an application for leave to appeal is a copy of the reasons for judgment or the order of the Court of Appeal as well as the trial court. Without both documents,
what are those documents?
So we need the judgment and the order from the Court of Appeal as well as the trial court.
Who's the Court of Appeal?
So I don't know necessarily if we'd be able to open a file for you, but like
who is the Court of Appeal? Who is the Court of Appeal?
I don't know if I can answer that by who necessarily. It's an institution in provinces. So, for example, in Ontario, we have the Court of Appeal for Ontario.
I see it here now. So you need a document from them?
It would be a document following a hearing with them. But I cannot give you any legal advice, and I cannot tell you what to do.
I don't need advice, okay? I've been representing myself for a really long time, so stop telling me that.
I completely understand. I just cannot tell you.
I know what my rights are. And I know what the criminal code says too. And I know what criminal negligence says too about the court system and neglecting me. And allowing vicious dogs to continue attacking me.
So, like I was just saying, I don't know if we'd be able to help you at the Supreme Court. I'll send you the document.
No, I'll send it out to the Court of Appeal first right now. Is there anything else I need from you guys? For you guys?
I don't know. Well,
I still want the documents. This won't take long.
So the documents themselves that we would need, I can tell them to you right now if you want.
Yeah, I will. And I would like that right now. I'm writing it down.
So we need a notice of application for leave to appeal.
For what? 2?
A notice of application for leave to appeal.
Okay, what for appeal? What was that last thing you said?
The notice of application for leave to appeal.
Leave to appeal? What does that mean?
We need a copy. So how the Supreme Court works is, depending on your situation from where you come from the Court of Appeal, you can either do a leave to appeal or a NASAF right, but the NASAF right is in special situations. And I don't know necessarily in what context they can be allowed or not. That's a process that's out of my line. But when it comes to leave to appeal, is you send your documents to the Supreme Court, and the judges, after some processing from us at the court, will review them. And depending on, I don't know what criteria the judges use. I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to answer you that. They will either accept the appeal and then hear it out in appeal process, or they will dismiss the application for leave to appeal. So that's the notice of application for leave to appeal, where you outline basically recap your application itself. And then from there, we would also need, like I said earlier, a copy of the reasons for judgment and order you're appealing from. So from the Court of Appeal, we need a copy of the trial court's reasons for judgment and order from the trial court. We need a memorandum of argument, a proof of service on the respondent or respondents. Should you exceed your 60-day filing deadline, so the delay for an application for leave to appeal is within 60 days following the Court of Appeal judgment. Should you exceed that delay for whatever reason,
unless I've been medically, unless what that judgment did was push me into a severe meltdown in which I was hospitalized multiple times. You know, like yeah, no, the 60 days is a there will be an exception for that for the Law Society for sure.
I wouldn't be able to answer you that. I'm sorry, I'm not the one processing documents. I'm just reading out what I have. I'm sorry.
Okay, keep going. What else do I need?
The only two other things is, since you said you were self-represented, we do ask for self-represented litigants to file their documents by email. But if you want to file by paper copy, you can say we would need the original version of your documents as well as 2 copies of it, so 3 in total. And we need the certificate 23A, which is a certificate for the sensitivity of your form. So if there's any publication ban, or if there's any sealing order. Those are the documents that I have in the guide that I would send by email to any self-represented litigant that's asking for how to appeal.
And can you mail me those?
Yeah, I can email you that. It would have the only difference with the email versus sending you the documents by paper version is that the email would include a lot of links referring you to our website and to the resources that we have on our website to help you appeal.
Sure, I can do that.
So we have that, but if you prefer, if not, I can send you the documents by email. You would have the same letter.
Okay, that's fine. I prefer that too, because like you can send it to me in the email if you'd like. I can do that.
Yeah, perfect. Can I have your email address?
Yep.
You said you sent us email, so I'll just see if I can recover your email, so I don't have to bother you with that.
Just make sure, yeah, a.o'neill505@gmail.com. I have lost a couple email accounts since emailing bar associations asking for representation. And it's really interesting because I've spent the last 3 days emailing lawyers, doctors, bar associations, law schools, courthouses across all of the nations that I'm representing in this class action lawsuit. And I've lost 3 accounts while begging for help from all of these experts.
Can you just confirm the email address you said you wanted me to send it?
Yeah, a.o'neill, O-N-E-I-L, 505
at gmail.com?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. I have it in front of me. So I'll be able to send you our self-represented kit via email. You should be getting it within the next week.
Great. And what was your name again?
My name is Matthew.
Matthew. And and can you try and find anything about accessibility accommodations and add that to the email, please?
I can check, but I can't guarantee I would be able to find anything.
If you got anything, I'm trying to find it myself too. So it's it's pretty sad that you guys don't have any inclusive. And
you have something, I just don't know of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'll check though, and if there's nothing in my email regarding to it, it's either haven't found anything or we don't have anything. And if that's the case, I apologize for that. But I promise before I send you my email, I'll do some research just to see what we have here.
Thank you so much.
It's no problem.
All right, I'm sorry for being so triggered, but this is a very difficult situation.
It's completely okay. I understand your situation. As much as I'd love to help you, I have to stay within the limits of my job, and there's a lot of knowledge I don't have. So I'm just trying to do the best of what I have.
And I just get a lot of doors shut on me, and I'm at the end of my rope here, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
I understand. And if you, I just want to say this between you and me. If you ever need help, there's a lot of resources. I don't know. You said London, so if I know, I'm from Ottawa, Gatineau, so I don't know very well the geography of around the area, but I'm pretty sure to London is close to the Toronto area. So if you ever need help with anything or you're not feeling okay, I'm pretty sure there's resources in your area of people you can talk to if you're not feeling okay. So
I have actually exhausted all of them, and I don't have a family doctor, so I appreciate trying to help, but unfortunately I have actually exhausted every single resource possible, and that will be evident in my my lawsuit that the Ontario courts have carefully ignored.
I completely understand.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you for calling the Law Society Licensing Inquiry Line. You're speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, I'm trying to reach Naomi.
You know the last
Bussin,
name?
Bussin.
Just one moment.
Hi, reached Naomi Bussin, Director of Intake and Resolution at the Law Society. I'm in the office today, but unable to take your call. Please leave me a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If your matter is urgent, please contact Jean Innes at 416-947-3345. Thank you.
Hey Naomi, it's Aaron O'Neill. I need to talk about my obstruction to lawyers. Obstruction to justice really is what I feel, and the oaths to justice that lawyers take, and it's basically, this is the way I explained it. Okay, so it's like I'm driving down a road, and when I use the Law Society referral program, these people have time, they're accessible, they're asking for clients, and it's like driving down a hotel line, and all of them have rooms, they're all have vacancy signs on, and then I show up, and then all of a sudden, boom, lights go out, oh, we don't have rooms. Yeah, okay, one, and then after the other, and after the other. I have gone to about 250 lawyers across this province. I have cold called, I've used the Law Society referral program, which is very exhausting, and I've always had more luck cold calling. Every single time they see who I'm suing, they ghost me. So, it's definitely discrimination, and this is a very serious problem, and now I'm applying to be euthanized. And the reason why I'm applying to be euthanized is because of this incurable justice system that you guys have clearly allowed to continue. I filed complaints, you ignore them, you continue allowing me to go without representation. I'm recording this voicemail, by the way, and it's going on YouTube, so I do suggest you contact me back to discuss this. This is public matter. I'm representing 1,300 people now. And it's very interesting to see how I have been treated. Since my claims, I've been retaliated against very severely. I have shown a lot of criminal behavior, and the justice system is turning an eye to it, and I don't understand why. When I look at the oaths you swear by, and I look at what's happening, I see a clear contradiction. It's blatantly obvious. It's not just obvious to me, but to a lot of people now, more and more every day. And we need solutions. I need a lawyer. The reason why I don't want to live anymore is because I keep reliving this trauma and triggering, and it's difficult on my heart and my soul and my brain. I'm financially unstable. I've had issues going on for 4 years. Stantec has obstructed justice for 4 years. As soon as I told them they've been obstructing justice, they got a lawyer in like 24 hours. Clearly, they realized I caught up. So please give me a call. My phone number is 647-767-7779. And do your due diligence, man. Like, this is really looking really bad. I've contacted a lot of law societies around the world where I'm representing people, and they're shocked at what the Law Society of Ontario has been doing to me. And there are lawyers in Europe and America that can't understand what's going on with the lawyers in Ontario, because there's a lawyer for everything in these places, and they can't understand because I have so many reasons to have a lawyer, and it's really shocking to see how many people have treated me like I don't exist.
Hello, you've reached the voicemail box of Xinia Alvarado, Coordinator of Hearings and Production Process for the Landlord and Tenant Board, Toronto South Office. I am available today, however, I'm not able to take your call at this time. please leave your name and phone number and a brief message, and I will get back to you within 1 business day. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Hi, Xinia. I submitted all those applications. I still have record of the last voicemail that I left for you, but I have not heard back from you since. Can you please call me back, or have someone from the Ontario Land Tenant Board call me, please? You have my phone number. Again, it's 647-767-7779. I've now sent the Ontario Land Tenant Board an application to be euthanized because of the severe neglect of the court systems across the province. I've just spent the entire morning on the phone with the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal related to my case against you guys at the Supreme Court of Canada, and I'm now going to be contacting the Ontario Court of Appeals. I've just left a message for Naomi Bussin on the Law Society intake complaint, and this is now a voicemail I'm leaving for you, all of which are being recorded and uploaded today to show, my efforts again and to show where we're at. Considering this has been going on for 2 years, I have had to send 2 applications to the Ontario Land Tenant Board, and I have, experienced further crimes, which shows that the Ontario Land Tenant Board is not able to govern landlords whatsoever, and they are incompetent, and they have shown criminal negligence, basically. So it's like, when you have to regulate somebody and you've been made aware of their violations and you don't do anything, and that person continues violating somebody under your watch when you've been made aware, that is actually criminal negligence, and that is actually on your part at the Ontario Land Tenant Board to have allowed the violations to continue happening, and they're quite severe. That year since my first application, that is a lot that I sent in. That is a lot of violations since. So explain it, please. Thank you.
Do not come to Osgood Hall at 130 Queen Street West, Toronto, in person if you are feeling sick or if you have traveled out of the country during the last 14 days or been advised by a health professional or a public health authority to self-isolate. All public counter services in Osgood Hall are closed until further notice, and urgent court filings are accepted by drop-off outside the court's intake office, by mail, or by email to coa-file@ontario.ca. More information about urgent filings and hearings can be obtained from the court's website at www.ontariocourts.ca and under the COVID-19 banner at the top of the webpage.
Thank you for calling the Court of Appeal for Ontario. Please note that some of our menu options have changed. For service in English, press 1. Pour continuer en français.
Please listen carefully to the following 7 options before making a selection. For general information, including location, hours of operation, and the Court of Appeal for Ontario's website, press 1. For the filing intake office, press 2. For the
Please be advised that staff cannot provide legal advice. Our fax number is 416-327-5032. Please visit the court's website at www.ontariocourts.ca to get guidelines and procedures on filing your matters. If you do not have access to a computer or the internet, your closest public library can be of assistance to you. To speak with an attendant, press 1. Press 9 to return to the main menu.
Please hold. Your call is being transferred. How can I help you?
Hi there.
Hi.
I just have 3 judgments to submit. I just got off the phone with the Supreme Court of Canada.
Okay.
I'm self-represented. There's a class action lawsuit that needs to be submitted. Is the only way to submit this through the Court of Appeal? Like, I live in London, Ontario, and I don't have a car. So is the only way that to do this by mail or fax?
You want to appeal, 3 judgments you said?
Yeah.
And they're coming from which court?
Ottawa and Toronto.
Okay, so you hit serve everything and submit everything electronically.
How do I do that?
So you submit to the court's email address at
COA.
.e.
Yeah.
-file.
Yeah.
At ontario.ca.
Great. And
okay, so you would submit all the necessary documents, ensure they receive service.
Are there any applications I have to fill out? Or do I just submit my judgment and my rationale?
No, there's Form 61A and 61C.
Okay, 61A and 61C?
Yep. And those are your notice of appeal form and your appellant certificate respecting evidence.
Is there a fee waiver? Is there a fee waiver because I'm unemployed right now?
There's a fee waiver request. It's on the Ontario Court's website.
Can you email me all of these forms? Because I have accessibility issues.
You would have to send an email to the court asking for the forms.
To the COA e-file place? Okay. And then, is the fee waiver somewhere online?
It is, but the same place where the same email you send asking for the forms, you could just ask for a copy of the fee waiver.
Okay, because I'm looking for the forms here. Okay. And then, are there any other forms I have to fill out?
Pardon me?
Are there any other forms I have to fill out?
Those are just the forms. Just make sure you fill it out within your 30-day period, and you have to serve and file with the court within that time period.
And as far as the Law Society of Ontario goes, that was a judgment, and then I had a severe meltdown. I had a mental breakdown after that judgment, and it's outside of but I'm asking for an exception. Is there a form for that?
It's outside of the what?
It's outside of the 30 or 60 days or whatever because I was trying to flee the country.
Okay, so then it's a notice of motion for an extension of time.
Notice of?
Motion for an extension of time.
What's that last bit, sorry? Extensive?
Notice of motion for an extension of time.
Thank you, I'm sorry. And all of those forms are online? Or I can email them to... Okay.
Notice of motion is Form 37A.
37A. And the fee waiver, is that a number too?
No, that's not a number.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Take care. Oh, she was quick. She was fucking boom, boom, boom. I liked her. She knew what she was talking about.
As an ongoing response to COVID-19 and in the effort to protect public health and safety, please do not come to Osgood Hall at 130 Queen Street West, Toronto, in person if you are feeling sick or if you have traveled out of the country during the last 14 days or been advised by a health professional or a public health authority to self-isolate.
Oh my
All
God.
public counter services in Osgood Hall are closed until further notice, and urgent court filings are accepted by drop-off outside the court's intake office, by mail, or by email to coa.e-file@ontario.ca. More information about urgent filings and hearings can be obtained from the court's website at www.ontariocourts.ca and under the COVID-19 banner at the top of the webpage.
Thank you for calling the Court of Appeal for Ontario. Please note that some of our menu options have changed. For service in English, press 1. Pour continuer en français, appuyez sur le 2. Thank you for calling the Court of Appeal for Ontario. Please note that some of our menu options have changed. For service in English, press 1. Pour continuer en français, appuyez sur le 2.
Please listen carefully to the following 7 options before making a selection. For general information, including location, hours of operation, and the Court of Appeal for Ontario's website, press 1. For the filing intake office, press 2. For the single judge motions desk, press 3. For the appeal scheduling unit, press 4. For the records office, press 5. For judge's reception, press 6. For information on accessibility, press 7. Press stop.
Please visit the Ministry of the Attorney General website at www.attorneygneral.gov.on.ca to get information on the accessibility features of Osgoode Hall, located at 130 Queen Street West, Toronto. To speak with the accessibility coordinator, press 1. Press 9 to return to the main menu.
Please hold. Your call is being transferred.
Hello, bonjour. You've reached Daniel Morentic, Registrar and Manager of Court Operations for the Court of Appeal for Ontario. Please be advised that I'm either on the other line or away from my desk and unavailable to take your call, but please leave a message, and I will endeavor to return your message within 1 business day. If your matter is urgent or administrative in nature, it's best to contact the court's intake office for assistance. This office can be reached at 416-327-5020. Staff are manning the phone lines and have access to the court's database from this office and can answer almost every administrative question. Again, the phone number for the intake office is 416-327-5020. Thank you and have a great day.
Hi there, my name is Aaron O'Neill. I'm looking for the accessibility manager. I have autism. I'm actively traumatized. I am applying to be euthanized with regards to my direct neglect of the court systems across the country over the last 4 years, and what their response was when I asked the UK for help. I've sent the email to coa.e file at ontario.ca with my application to be euthanized, which I've sent to the Supreme Court, which they've given me now instructions to contact you. So apparently I'm supposed to fill out 61A, 61C, get a fee waiver because I'm unemployed, suing my employer, and they've obstructed justice since 2018. All of a sudden I want to dismiss it all out of nowhere for nothing, really, really offensively. And I also need an extension of time for the Law Society lawsuit for 37A because that judgment pushed me into a severe meltdown in which I tried to flee this country, and then I have been held hostage ever since, actually, and then I filed the class action lawsuit. So the class action lawsuit was dismissed with my lawsuit against the College of Physicians, who have allowed doctors to cherry pick my cases. The Healthcare Connect has been looking for a doctor for me since 2017. I've been neglected. Doctors pick and choose their clients. They tell me, oh, I'm this, I'm that. They don't want me as a patient, so I am denied healthcare. I sued the College of Physicians, and this judge in Ottawa dismissed that case, which was supposed to be heard in London, as well as the Ottawa case, which is a class action. I'm representing 1,300 people around the world. And since that judgment, I've been retaliated against by multiple parties in my defendants list. It's been extremely violating, so now I feel like I need, there's only one solution because the court systems have proven to be an incurable defect on my life, and I've been using the courts for what they're intended for. I'm also recording this voicemail. It's now 5 minutes long. I've been on the phone for you guys looking for accessibility options, and I need these filed. I need the judgments done. I need them done yesterday. That's what I have to say. My phone number, 647-767-7779. I suggest you read that attachment and give me a call back. It's, quite a powerful letter, and you guys are responsible. You guys are responsible for me feeling like I need to take myself out. And I'm doing it through the appropriate channels. I'm using a doctor and going, this is my 3rd time applying to be euthanized in the last year. Because of your neglect at the court system's level. The justice system across the province in Ontario, including the Attorney General, has been made aware of all of these injustices, and I continue to be harmed and not protected. So this is now criminal negligence on the justice system's part, and you guys seem to be an incurable disease on my life. It's insufferable, and I want to end that suffering. So figure it out. I just heated up my coffee. Can you give me 2 seconds?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm usually a lot more fast answering the phone. I am grateful for you returning my call. So I have just submitted application to be euthanized. I've spent all morning on the phone with the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal, Supreme Court of Canada, Ontario Land and Tenure Board, basically the justice system across the board, who are representing, cases that have caused a lot of pain, which has been never allowed to heal, and things have only gotten worse. As you can see from all of the judgments, it is clearly indicative of a lack of representation.
This call is being recorded.
I sent you an email recently, just today, I believe. There is an email that was sent to, at least 100 lawyers that I just basically cold called. And before that, I had used LinkedIn, cold called. I used the Law Society referral program. I have used every means possible. I've had people refer me to people that they know. And every single time they see who I'm suing, I get ghosted. As I explained on my voicemail that I left for you, I won't have to repeat it, but it is clearly an issue that you are training lawyers to do this. Whether it's choosing people by the best dollar per hour, or whether they have conflicts of interests with whom they're allowed to sue, and it's just too widespread. I also don't know of a single autistic lawyer in North America other than one, which I've emailed, and she's in America, so she can't even help me with my cases here. It's extremely alarming how all of my complaints have been treated up until this point, basically just blatantly telling me that lawyers can do whatever they want, that you have no regulating power over what they do, and that everything that I've complained about is completely acceptable by the Law Society standards. And that just shows me that you guys are completely incurable, considering my experience. So what am I supposed to do? And now because I can't get a lawyer, I can't get my pain heard, and I can't heal, so I'm now applying to be euthanized, and the root of all of it is you. What am I supposed to do?
Have you gone to the lawyer referral service?
Oh,
the
honey.
Law Study referral service?
Oh, yes, I have. And you know what they tell me? They give me I've recorded multiple consultations and I've sent it in to you guys. You guys won't look at it because it's on a Google Drive, and it's literally streaming. You guys can't get a virus, and it's literally more accessible than if I were to send it to you on a USB drive. But I am preparing it on a USB drive and preparing it to the court, and I'm having my Law Society lawsuit reopened because your lawyer that represented you blocked me and wouldn't even talk to me. You guys hired a lawyer and he wouldn't even talk to me. All you do is train people to obstruct justice. That's it. And then you guys end up in positions of legislation and policy making. And that's all you guys do. Obstruct justice, blah, 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 blah. It's all I have experienced this entire time, including you. I have emailed all of your benchers. They all ignored me. They all are aware. Everybody is aware. Nobody can say I didn't know. You knew what the risks were in denying me my rights to justice. You did everything to carefully avoid evidence. All of you carefully avoided information and evidence. It's very upsetting. And I've talked to other law societies around the world, and they're in shock. I tell them my story, and they're shocked. You know how that feels? So what is it? Why is this happening?
Let me say this.
when somebody feels, if you feel like people aren't listening to you, then it would be upsetting, and I'm sorry about that. We are listening to you and responding to your complaints. You may not agree with the outcome of them, but we are listening to you and looking at what the issues that you're bringing to us. Lawyers have a choice as to whether they want to take on a client or not. And, when you're raising concerns about the lawyers, we're looking at them and we're responding to you. There are some that are open now that we're looking at. I'm sorry if you feel that we're not listening to you or we're not helping you. We're trying, but
let me get the exact page number. Do you have the form that I sent you? Do you have the form that I sent you? I want you to go to... Yeah, like I sent you an email, and there is a huge document. If you're listening to me, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a page number, and I'm going to show you what we're talking about here, and how many lawyers I have called, and how many people I could potentially complain about for just completely treating me like I don't exist. And is that what you do? Is that how you train people? You allow people to do that to civilians? You think that's acceptable? You regulate and train lawyers to treat people like this. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's not the way I see it.
What do you see it? How do you see it, that?
Lawyers are doing their best.
Are they? Have you seen how many lawyers I have contacted? Do you know how many I've used through the Law Society referral program? Do you know all of the evidence that I've submitted and all of the consultations? Have you listened to all of the consultations that I have sent in of people telling me that they don't have time after they're listed as someone with time on the Law Society referral program? I have. Here we go. In this email, I have included over 100 people. Okay? I sent this email. This is on page... let's see, 116, okay? Now, I included all of these lawyers, all of my issues. I looked at all of the trauma. I explained everything in this email, okay? The emails are there. I showed them my applications that I've submitted, and I submitted that to, like, a lot of different people at a lot of different firms across Ontario. You can see there. Do you see do you recognize any of those names? They're at some small firms, big firms, law societies. I sent them to the. I sent it to the Middlesex. I sent it to pretty much even the Canadian Bar Association. I sent it to class action lawsuits, FLSC. NANDA, HB, like literally every single school as well. Like I sent it to actual academics at the schools that train these people, Siskins, Mackenzie Lake, and I got names of actual lawyers and I sent it to them, and I sent all these people. I have exhausted every single firm across Ontario. I have exhausted about 10 people through your Law Society referral program, so that's about how many hours of my life? That's 10 hours of my life that I've had spent reliving my trauma to people who tell me that they don't have time for me after. And you tell me I'm supposed to live through this? No, ma'am. No, because of my experience through you and your Law Society, I have applied to be euthanized. And I'm putting the reason down as you. And the courts. Do you understand? You are my incurable disease. You people, you lawyers, you politicians, the justice system, and how I've been treated over 4 years. I have been looking for a lawyer since 2018. I have sent at least 300 letters to lawyers across this province, from LinkedIn to emails to cold calling to this to using the Law Society referral program, and it's all recorded. And it's still not enough? What does that say to the next person? And now I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I run out of everything. I'm exhausted. You have put me to the point where it is now insufferable.
What about legal clinics?
Tried them. I tried them. I went there, and you know what else?
You were represented by a clinic for your landlord and tenant matter?
Went there. I've done everything. Listen, I have done everything. I even went to the Ontario Ombudsman and complained, and they found me a lawyer at the neighborhood legal clinic, and Allison Darling literally told me after she reviewed everything that it's my fault that I got into the situation and she doesn't have time for me, and it's in writing. I've gone to the Arch Disability. They won't even call me back.
Well, I'm very sorry for your situation, and it sounds like you're very upset, and it would be frustrating. But we can't make somebody represent you. And my particular job is to respond to complaints. You know, I sounds like you're trying very hard, and it would be very difficult. But there isn't anything that I can do to get a lawyer for you. Sounds like you're trying all the right things.
And we're both recording this, and I'm putting this on YouTube right after. And this is the best answer you've got. This is the director of the Law Society Complaint Intake, everybody. This is the best you got?
I'm sorry that I'm going to end this conversation now.
Why?
Because I don't agree.
You're recording it. You hit record the call.
I don't agree for this call to be put on YouTube.
Well, it's public information. This is my public right to justice. You're a public member of this institution. I'm sorry. But you regulate lawyers. This is a human right. You don't get to tell me what I get to release to the public as a position that you're in.
No, I don't. But I'm concerned about confidentiality of complaints. And
what have we talked about? You haven't talked about anything. Okay. And everything that I have already provided is already public. So what next? I asked you for a solution. What are we going to do about this? Nothing? Is this it? Is this the best that the director of the Law Society has got? Because I'm going to send this to other law societies, and they're going to look at you guys as completely incompetent, because I have exhausted your entire regulated professional of lawyers, and everybody points to you to deal with it. Do you understand that? I have already climbed every ladder possible, Naomi. And you know who they all point to? Guess. I have it on record, too. You know who they point to? Law Society. What are you going to say? What are you going to say when I reopen this to the judge?
I have been recording this conversation. Do you agree to that?
Yeah, I do. Excuse me. Like, I am the only transparent person in the room. I have been completely transparent. It's you guys who are obstructing justice. Obstructing the truth. Obstructing transparency. You guys. Not me. I've been in the open this entire time. Completely available. Ready for action. Ready for judgment. Ready for everything. I've put everything on the line for this. Everything. I've exhausted 4 years of my life in this hell seeking justice. And you told me I'm doing everything properly. So what's the problem? You think lawyers can pick and choose who they represent? That's unacceptable. Especially given the trauma that has occurred to me because of that rule. Your policies need to change. Our rights are being violated because of you guys and your incompetency in allowing lawyers to pick and choose people to represent like it's freaking 1945 all over again. You guys have an individual responsibility to protect people. Do you understand? And look at the trauma that you've caused me by allowing lawyers to cherry pick their people. You think I'm the only one?
You know, I'm sorry for the situation that you're in.
No, you're not. Because you're going to do it again, Naomi. You know what sorry means? Sorry means I recognize what I've done wrong, and I'm going to do everything I can to fix it. What you're trying to do is, I'm sorry for how you feel, but I'm going to keep doing it because I enjoy hurting people. Right, Naomi? Is that how you feel? You enjoy traumatizing people? Do you enjoy it? Are you going to hang up on me? Because that would hurt me. You enjoy that too? You want to hang up on me and make me feel like I don't exist? Because that's hurtful. You enjoy that? Hang up on me then if you enjoy it. Come on. Do you do that to your kids too? Do you just slam the door in their face? Is that kind of parenting you do? My anger is valid. This has been 4 years of trauma. And you're going to tell me, sorry, I can't do anything?
Let me just reiterate a few things. We're responsible for responding to complaints. You've made complaints. We're responding to them.
And you justify it. No, you justify all of the lawyers.
Let me speak. You've brought cases to the court, and the court has dealt with them. Is dealing with them. And
no, they don't. They ignore me. They all ignore me. You think that's just? Do you think that's acceptable? Huh? You think that's allowed? Do you agree with the court's decision? By denying me a voice, by not calling me, your lawyer that you have hired to represent you in court when I sued the Law Society, you allowed your lawyer to block my phone number. I recorded it. Denied me a voice, wouldn't talk to me, and then made a judgment, and you think that's acceptable by the Law Society standards?
I can't comment on anything that happened before the courts. Court's dealing with it. We're dealing with it.
No, I'm talking about the lawyer you hired. I'm talking about the lawyer that you hired. You can't talk about that either?
No, I don't have any more comment. I'm going to end this phone call, and I'm not hanging up on you.
No, you're not? Is this the best you got? Are you going to talk to me again, or are you going to avoid me now?
I don't know that I can help you.
What are you going to do? Oh, is this it? What are you going to do about all my complaints? I have about 300 complaints to file against all the lawyers across Ontario. Are you going to accept them all? You're going to give me a little letter that says we accept your lawyer's cherry picking? You're going to let me know in writing that you justify all of this?
I'm ending this phone call.
It's going on YouTube. Is this the best you got? So I think I talked to the Law Society, the Supreme Court, Ontario Appeal, a whole bunch of people today, and I understand there is a file that I submitted back in 2020. It's now 2022. I've never heard back from the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal. I've now emailed all of the other human rights tribunals. They've been very responsive, the other ones, and they're all like, well, you're in Ontario, so Ontario should be fixing it. Since my application, the people that I have told you about that are harming me have continued to harm me, even though you've been made aware multiple times. I've sent 60 or more emails to the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal registration. I've been ignored by legislators, by the Attorney General. This is a very serious claim. They tell me that, they've carefully avoided evidence, clearly, because I've submitted almost 100 gigabytes of evidence, and nobody wants to consider that. And now I have... it is now insufferable. This has been going on since 2018. I've been, I filed an application with my landlord and my employer, and since I filed those applications, I've lost my job and experienced hate crimes by my landlord. Both of them have retaliated, and I have suffered. The court system has done absolutely nothing to protect me from them. And it has now gone to the point where I have applied to be euthanized 3 times, and I am applying. This is it. I'm done. I can't keep doing this. I'm submitting all of my evidence to you guys, and there will be there's an application now going ahead. I'm contacting doctors and medical assistants in dying, and the reason why is because of this insufferable system, and my incurable disease is these court systems.
Okay, can I let you know, Mr. O'Neill, why I'm calling you?
Sure.
So today you did call us, and you mentioned about the euthanasia to the representative who answers the phone, and Rory called you back because we were very concerned to hear that. He wanted to check that you were okay, and you did tell Rory that you're not suicidal, at the moment, because we were concerned we needed to send someone to check on you, and but you said no, you weren't.
I'm calling because no one actually addressed the status of your case with you. So I wanted to fill you in. You had said that the HRTO is neglecting you, and Rory told you no, they're not. But, I've since looked into the case. I wanted to follow up on that information. The Human Rights Tribunal sent you an email on February 23rd asking you for more information. And they gave you a deadline, and it says that you need to reply by March 23rd, which is next week. Do you have that email?
Okay, first of all, I had filled out the application for Stantec. I have them. The application that I filled out for Stantec and Jan Sadi were complete, had all of the information. There have been several applications since. So what happened to those? What happened to my 2020 applications?
Okay, so you
and on top of that, that email that you sent on February 23rd was only sent because I emailed the United Kingdom Supreme Court of Canada and told them to get on you guys, and you tell me it's incomplete when it is complete, and I replied with all of the information that you needed right after you got that email. So you tell me you don't have the response to that email yet either?
No, what I said...
Well, I have it in my sent inbox.
Okay, that's fine, Mr. O'Neill. What I was saying is the HRTO has not neglected you.
Prove
it.
it.
You a request for further information.
Prove it.
You're telling
you know what? You're gaslighting me right now, and it's really fucking offensive. Telling me that I have not been neglected. You can't come onto this phone line. You can't call me and tell me, Aaron, you have not been neglected. It's not going to change how I feel.
No, I understand that. Okay.
Do you? You understand what? You understand my shoes? You've walked a day in my shoes? You don't understand anything. God, everything out of your mouth has been a lie since I started talking to you. I want to talk to the goddamn courts. You're not at the court. I called Rory, and I wanted a call from the courts, not some manager of some call center. You're not justice. You can't speak for the court system, and you sure as hell can't speak for me. And I'm recording this.
I'm sure you are. What I'm trying to say, sir, is that I understand.
You do not understand anything. Are you autistic? Are you native? Are you in my shoes? Don't lie to me. Don't tell me you understand anything. You've never walked a day in my life, and so you will never understand me. So don't get on the phone here and tell me that you will. It's very triggering.
I did not say that I understand you, sir.
You don't understand anything.
You're allowing me to speak and finish a sentence, so I cannot articulate.
Well, don't give me that bullshit they try and tell you to tell people that are upset, because you know what? It doesn't work.
Okay.
I want this fixed. You coming on here telling me that I don't feel neglected when I have literally applied to be euthanized to get you to call me, goddammit. You don't think that's neglect? This has been going on for 4 years.
Okay. What I'm trying to say, Mr. O'Neill, is that I've called you to try to help right now, and it's clearly not going well.
No, you're triggering me. And I didn't ask for some manager at the call center, did I? Is that what I asked for?
Okay, well, I'm sorry that I can't...
Where are the courts?
What I was trying to
Why don't you have that copy of my email giving you all that information? Do you want me to send you it again? How many times do I have to do your job? Neglect or incompetent, it's one or the other.
So what I would like to say is that on February 23rd, you were sent an email by BH saying your application was incomplete. In that letter, they gave you a deadline to respond.
I already responded to it.
You're telling me that you have already responded
Yep.
to it. Thank you very much. So now
But you know what? And on top of that, it is an inaccurate email because the file for Jan Sadi and the file for Stantec were individual applications, and I got individual reference numbers for both of them back in 2020, and all of the information was on both of them.
So you've already responded to that email, so the position you're in now is to wait to hear from the Human Rights Tribunal again. That's all I wanted to share with you today. Okay? So,
and where's the receipt? And what? Where's the information? And you can confirm that you told me you don't have it, so where is it? You confirm it? You can look through the inbox and find it?
No, sir, I don't work at the HRTO. I don't have access to that email.
So why would they send you me? Why would they send you to me? You can't even look at the file. All you did was call and trigger me. I'm trying to fucking sleep because I have been on the phone since 8 o'clock this morning, harassing all of you court systems, telling you that I want to fucking die because of your incompetency, and here you are calling me at 5 o'clock to tell me you still don't have all my fucking information, and it's been fucking how long, and I've given you a hard drive of 100 gigabytes of information, and this is your incompetency. Do you understand me?
Yes, I understand, sir, that you're getting aggressive, you're losing foul language, and we won't be disrespectful. I'm not speaking to you in that way. Please don't speak to me in that way.
You are a representative of the court system, and I will speak to the court system how they have treated me. You cannot oppress me for my anger. This is valid anger. Anyone would be as angry as me right now. I'm surprised I even made it this long.
So, sir, I never told you that they didn't receive your information. I said that you have told me that you have replied to this email.
You know what? You sent me in writing. You gave it to me in writing. What are you talking about? In writing, February 23rd, you said you didn't have my information, and I gave it to y'all. I have the files. I have the applications.
We're not getting anywhere, Mr. O'Neill.
No, because you're useless. You can't even look at the file to see what you've sent. What did you even call for? To upset me? To show me how incompetent you are? Because I'm putting this on fucking YouTube right after this. You really upset me. You're the worst call of the day. I've been on the phone with people all day, and Rory did a better job than you. You are the most unprofessional person I've talked to today. On record.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. O'Neill. Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, see, your disconnect? Have a nice weekend? How the fuck am I supposed to have a nice weekend? That's how disconnected you are. You're just so sadistic. All you did was to call me and fucking hurt my feelings.